Hi there. How are you? I'm doing just fine. And what's your name? My name is John Doe. It's nice to meet you. I'm Erica Lowry, and I will be your counselor for today. And before we proceed, I do want to explain just a little bit that anything that we share here privately will remain privately, and I will not share it without your permission unless there's something drastically wrong, like if someone is abusing you, or if there's any other abuse, if there's a child neglect situation, or if I'm suspecting that you might hurt yourself, or if you're suicidal at all, I will have to call the police, and we'll have to divulge some of the things that we talk about today. But other than that, I just want you to know that you have your rights, your HIPAA rights. And so if you'll just sign that, if you wouldn't mind. Okay, so what brings you in today? Well, I just moved for a new job, and I have a new boss, but we're struggling a little bit because I'm a little worried about my parents. My mom just had heart surgery recently, and she's healing from that, and my father had pneumonia, and he was in the hospital for a while, and it seems like there's one thing after another, but I've moved so far away, and I have to ask off every time something happens with my parents, and so I feel like my boss may be upset, and I know I should focus on my family, and I know I should focus on my new job, and so it's just a struggle. It was just difficult. While I was at home, I helped my parents. I drove them to the store and did different things, but they're getting worse. My mom, she just recently got out of the hospital, and then my dad gets sick, and I going back and forth between work and to visit them. I feel like I'm neglecting work, and I don't know, I'm just getting down about that. Did you move alone, or do you have a family? Do you have children with you? No, I moved alone. I'm all by myself, and this is a new area. I'm not familiar with the area, and I'm meeting new friends, but I don't know very many people. So you're not married? No, I'm not married. Well, I see that that's a burden on you, being torn between your parents and your new job. What's your plan for trying to relieve some of this stress? Well, I finally did get this new job, and I'm earning a good living, but of course I'm worried about my parents being so far away, and I'm calling on them to check on them every day just to see if they're all right. And I don't know, I wish that, there wasn't any work where my parents lived, and so that's why I moved here, but I just feel so much pressure, and I'm worried about them, and worried about just burden for them and what's going on there at home. I see. And I wonder, with your parents, in that area, if there's any other family or friends that could help your parents? Well, I don't have any really close relatives there. I mean, there are some not too far away, but I was always around and always there helping them. But because I've moved, I don't know if anybody else would help them or not. I don't know if they would be willing. So far it was me, and all of that burden fell on me and my responsibility to take care of them because I lived there and so close. But now I've got this really nice job, and I don't want my boss to be mad at me. I want the best of both worlds. I want them both to be okay with all of this. when it comes to solving an issue like this, I realize that you have, a big burden for your family. And I wonder if there's anyone that you can contact, if there's any kind of local resources, such as home health care, people who can come and check on your parents, or a nursing home of some kind, oh, my parents have lived in their house for so many years. My dad, he used to do building and all of that, and he would work, but they love that house. They would never consider a nursing home. I don't know if I could maybe call around and ask the doctor who can come by and check on my parents, or if there's a relative that could come by, and maybe I can contact somebody or figure out. But they love their house. My parents love their house. I don't know that they would ever move. They retired there, and I don't know what kind of money they would have to get to a nursing home. I can't imagine that. And I feel like I can't neglect my family in that way, but I mean, I can call and see, check around. I'm sure your parents are thrilled that you have a new job here in this city, and I know that it's a burden on you to worry about them and have this new job, but you can't do everything all by yourself. It's not healthy for you to be, it could lead to depression and anxiety, but you definitely, I'm glad that you came in now so that you could take care of some of these issues before it gets any worse. Our time is up soon, but I did want to talk to you about the next session. Maybe before we meet again, you can find some resources and make some contacts of some resources that can take care of some of those issues for you, home health care and contacting the doctor. Maybe you could do that. Yeah, I could definitely think about that. I'll try to contact somebody, and I can bring those resources when we meet again in a couple of weeks. Yeah, I'm hoping at the same time my boss will, our relationship will calm down and everything will be good, and I just want to have a normal life, and of course I'm getting out of the house from underneath my parents too, and I'm their baby boy, but at the same time I know that I need to be independent and out of the house too. Well, it would be a good idea if you talk to your parents